Hi, this is Joachim Kans, the singer of Hammerfall, and you're watching CMS TV.
Guess there's some news or potential news in that Dead Daisies camp.
There is, man. I was speaking to our source in somewhere in the mix of that camp.
Well, let me read the report here and see what's being reported as opposed to what your source potentially told you.
All right.
So according to the news, anyway, this comes from Sleaze Rocks, our good friend Skid over there at Sleaze Rocks.
Yeah.
Glenn Hughes is reportedly replacing John Corabi and Marco Mendoza in the Dead Daisies. So he's doing the job of two?
Well, he's gonna be the singer and the bassist.
All right. Big changes are reportedly happening with the Dead Daisies as frontman John Corabi has apparently left the band and will be replaced by lead vocalist bassist Glenn Hughes. Currently, the Dead Daisies bassist Marco Mendoza is also abruptly out of the band. Corabi joined the Dead Daisies in 2015, while Mendoza played in the group since 2013 and again in 2014 and onwards. Rumors have been swirling around that the Dead Daisies singer John Corabi left the band last year. There have been confirmed reports from several months that Corabi has been replaced by singer Glenn Hughes, with Hughes playing bass. Marco Mendoza is no longer with the band. The current lineup is Hughes, guitarist Doug Aldrich, David Lowery, and drummer Dean Castronovo. The band is in LA recording a new album for its release in 2020. Both Corabi and Mendoza have a number of solo shows lined up for the future. Mendoza is currently on tour in the UK and has some dates lined up for September in the US, while Corabi has a couple of solo gigs lined up in the US for September and October and a number of dates in Europe for December of 2019. The Dead Daisies, consisting of Marco Mendoza, John Corabi, David Lowery, Doug Aldridge, and Dean Castronovo, are releasing a covers album titled Locked and Loaded. The covers album by way of Steamhammer, August 23rd. 2019, so that's just in a few days.
Mm-hmm.
And the covers album will also feature alum band members John Stevens on lead vocal, Brian Tichy on drums, Richard Fortas on guitar, Dizzy Reed on keyboards, and Jackie Barnes on drums.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the current news.
That is the official report.
That's the official release, press release, I guess.
Yes.
But there's, as both you and I know, what is released as an official report isn't always the case.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's sort of the case. Now, I spoke to somebody today very close to this. Like, as close as you could possibly be to this. And what I'm hearing is that they tried out Glenn Hughes.
Okay.
And they made an offer to Glenn Hughes, but they have not fired Corabi yet. And they have not fired Mendoza yet. But they've made an offer. So if Glenn accepts the offer, then Glenn will have the gig and those two will be out.
Okay. So basically the comment there that they already left the band
is not true.
Okay.
That being said, if Glenn does not accept the offer,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm hearing is that they're going to make Marco an offer, like a big money offer to stay for one more year. And they're hopeful that Corabi will come back.
Now, when you say they, who are they? Who are the ones pulling the strings, as it were?
The potential, from what I hear, the two people pulling the strings are the manager, which I don't remember his name, something Edwards, Dennis Edwards, Dave Edwards, something Edwards. That is, he's also done like In Excess and a bunch of other bands like that.
Okay.
And David Lowery, who started the band. Lowery is the guy that actually started the Dead Daisies.
All right.
So those are the guys that are pulling the strings. And from what I'm hearing, Lowry always wants to keep this thing fluid, and he wants to work with different people and whatnot. But I don't know about this move. Personally, I'm hearing that's what it's going to be. If it is that, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I mean, obviously, Glenn Hughes is a talent.
Absolutely.
An iconic singer, iconic bassist guy. You saw him do a solo show here, last year?
Yeah, not too long ago.
When you say, what do I think?
Yeah.
Are you saying from a perspective of what the Dead Daisies to be?
Yeah. I mean, do you think it'll be successful, or do you think it'll just die?
Well, I mean, what are the terms of success? When you say successful, I mean, are they aren't being like played on some kind of radio or something like that, are they?
Oh, but the Dead Daisies right now is a fairly successful, as this kind of classic hard rock goes, they're one of the more successful bands that does not have pedigree out there right now. They have pedigree from the individuals, but they're a quote unquote new band that is having a lot of success overseas.
Okay.
Let me just go the other way. I'll tell you what I think, and then you tell me if you think I'm crazy.
Well, I guess I'm just trying to nail down what you consider success. I mean, touring success, popularity success. I mean, I don't know what their, if sales count anymore. I don't even know what sales mean these days as far as like CD or digital download or, whatever. I don't even know what that means anymore.
Yeah, I think it all has to do with money that you make on the road.
Okay, so touring success.
Touring success.
Okay.
And I'm going to be honest, I love Glenn Hughes. I think I've always claimed that I think he's the best singer out there today. I think I have said him or Jeff Scott Soto, A or B, the two best singers that are out there today working.
Okay.
That said, I don't see his style matching with the Dead Daisies at all. I don't see it. I just don't see it being a good fit. And I see him being, I see the Dead Daisies having a somewhat younger audience than Glenn Hughes.
Okay.
Glenn looks like an old guy, I mean, he brings it. He definitely can bring it. The other thing I don't see making sense is style. I just don't. Glenn Hughes does not play what we would consider classic metal.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you could say Deep Purple, but Deep Purple, let's be honest, Deep Purple is oldies metal at this point. If you listen to Deep Purple, it's not the same sound that you're getting from, I don't know, Motley Crue or whatever. And Dead Daisies is more in that vein, I guess, more in that style. Glenn does an older style. And again, I want to be clear on saying I am not shitting on Glenn Hughes. I think I came on this show and fucking glowed about how good the Glenn Hughes show was last year that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
He's amazing. He's an amazing singer, but I just do not think that he fits this band at all. I think it's going to be a disaster. I mean, the Dead Daisies were dead. They were dead all right before Karabi came into the band. They had that other singer before Karabi, and no one gave a shit. It was once Karabi came into the band and started writing with them that they took off. And now you're going to change that out, and you're going to change Marco, who's a fucking brilliant performer on stage.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to lose that piece too? I don't know, man. Doesn't sound appealing to me. I don't see it working personally, but who am I? I don't know.
Well, as we all know, and as we've all learned over time, that chemistry plays such a huge part in a band's success.
Absolutely.
And if they, obviously they struck some kind of chord with the current lineup that they have.
Right.
And, I think for you as a fan, because I have not followed their career that close.
Okay.
And I think for you as a fan, you feel that the chemistry or the mix of those guys together have worked magic together. So I think you're a little concerned that magic is going to be destroyed now.
I almost certainly believe that.
Okay.
And another piece of what I heard today, and again, this is from fairly close to the band.
Okay.
This might not be the end of the changes either. I also heard that there's some talk that Doug Aldrich might leave. If Doug Aldrich leaves, that's it. That's the sound. I mean, Robbie and Aldrich are the sound of that band. If Doug leaves, most people think the Dead Daisies are Doug's band. It just sounds like, I don't know, maybe the Lowry guy, the guy that, and I don't know that guy. I don't think I've ever met him or interviewed him or anything. I'm pretty sure I haven't. But, it just sounds like that guy's going through like some weird crisis or fandom or something, and heard that he could get Glenn Hughes, and he's a big fan of Glenn Hughes, so he's just trying to put it together. But
there could be some possibility to that. It's just like, oh man, he's always been one of my favorites, and he's willing to work with me. How cool is that?
Well, it's not, because, I mean, and another piece to this puzzle in my head, and again, I can't say it enough how much of a fan I am of Glenn Hughes, but Glenn's recent history is not that good with bands. He had Black Country Communion, which he did a few records with, but never really toured, and never, it just seemed like and I know some of that was Joe Bonamassa was pain in the ass, but that band kind of came and went, fell apart. And then he had that other band that was like them without Bonamassa, that California Breed.
Mm-hmm.
And they put out an album, and that broke up just as soon as that album came out. And, so, I mean, Glenn doesn't exactly have the strongest history of making a commitment to a band and staying with it for 15 years. I don't think he ever has, other than his solo stuff, has he?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, obviously he had a couple rounds with Tony Iommi.
Yeah. But that's it. You can name projects that Glenn has done.
Mm-hmm.
He's done some projects, and Black Country Communion had 3 or 4 records, which that's good, but they did them all in like 3 years. It was like bang, 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 bang. It wasn't spread out all over like a 10-year period or something.
Mm-hmm.
And, I know that became the California Breed. They just got rid of Bonamassa and did the California Breed, but that only lasted, I don't know, 6 months, and then it was gone. Maybe a year. I know they tried to tour once, and that was the last I heard of it. It just went away.
Right.
So, and Dead Daisies have been a steady touring band. They have toured and toured and toured for the last, 5-6 years. So I don't know how it's going to work. I know this. I of course will listen to it because I am a Glenn Hughes fan. No matter what, if Glenn Hughes puts out any record, I listen to it. But I started listening to Dead Daisies because of John Corabi, and I know I'm not going to be real thrilled with Dead Daisies without John Corabi. That's just me personally.
Yeah, well, I get it.
But that's the insider scoop.
All right. Well, let's see what the fans have to say. Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Hey guys, it's Eldon from Kentucky.
Hey, what's going on?
A couple weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
Remember, I was the loser that got everything. Well, pretty much, you guys disagree with everything I said.
Well, do you have some thoughts on the Dead Daisies?
Well, I do. I saw them in 2016 open for Kiss. Those imposters. And Corabi was great, man. I mean, they came out and they ended the show with the Fortunate Son, that song I just played, and did a tremendous job. I mean, Mendoza was awesome. Aldrich was awesome. So it was a great show. I know you guys never really talk about music anymore, and I was wondering if we could maybe try to stay on that subject tonight. Is that cool?
No.
Well,
okay. Well, we can talk about racism. That's fine.
We're going to talk about whatever. You can stay on that subject if you want to.
Okay. Well, I was mowing my yard the other day, and I was listening to the Scorpions, and I actually kind of thought about asking you guys something because I was listening to an old segment about, when should bands call it a day, and I never really heard you guys say much about who should call it a day. So I had like 10 bands. It doesn't have to be that many because I know you guys don't have patience that much, but it can be 5. That I was thinking, I wonder if they think that they should call it a day or not. So,
all right,
is it okay to play this or not?
Well, is this a game or is this just your opinion?
He wants our opinion.
I'm just asking. Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell us?
My opinion doesn't matter.
Well, it does matter. You're calling the show, so you obviously have something to say. So give us 5 bands that should call it a day.
Well, just name the first one, and we'll go from there. We'll just do it one at a time.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's why I'm asking you guys. Don't worry about mine.
First band.
Okay, Scorpion.
They can keep going.
What? Why in your mind should Scorpions call it a day? Have you seen their live show recently?
No. I'm asking you guys.
I think they should keep going. I've seen them recently, and they still bring it live. I'm not so big of a fan of, their recordings or their records or anything, but Klaus still sounds good. The band still brings it live. They really put on a fantastic show. So yeah, I think they're still a viable band.
Okay. Next band is Judas Priest.
Boy, that's a tough one. I'm going to say that they've come down to being the Halford band anymore. So as far as the brand Judas Priest is concerned, I think they should call it a day.
I'll say keep going.
Chris?
I don't give a shit who's in the band. They're still playing the songs well. It's still a good show. The record rocked. Keep going. Bucket. Who cares?
Okay. All right. We'll kind of stay towards the top of the ladder. AC/DC.
I don't know what their status is, Chris. What is their status?
They're putting out an album and they're going to tour in 2020.
Okay. Is that for sure?
That's for sure.
Okay.
Brian Johnson on vocals, and Cliff is back, and the nephew of the guy with the pudding head that died.
Okay, and you did say the drummer's back too.
Yeah, Phil Rudd is back as well.
Phil Rudd is back. So it's an intact, most popular lineup of AC/DC minus Malcolm Young, but his nephew is stepped in.
Yeah.
Do I care if they do a new record? No. Can they put on a good show? I saw the Black Ice tour. They still brought it live. As far as I'm concerned, they still pack arenas. So I still say that they could go on as long as Brian Johnson's voice can still hold up.
I say do a final run and call it a day. They stink.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be recording records. That last record was just shit. That Let's Play Ball or whatever, that was fucking garbage.
What do you think was their last good record?
Last good AC/DC record? Probably Razor's Edge for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that as well. Razor's Edge was pretty strong.
What was after that? The ball one, whatever that was called.
Ball breaker.
Ball breakers, slip of the lip or tongue or whatever that was.
Black Ice.
Black Ice, the last record. What was the one with I'm not going to say I hated this record, but I know it wasn't well received, but I kind of liked Blow Up Your Video, the album. I liked quite a few of those songs on that record. But I wouldn't call that the last great. I'll stick with Razor's Edge as the last really good one.
So we're talking over 20 years since they put out a good record.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
All right, Ozzy.
I say go away.
Yeah, he's pretty feeble at this point. So I don't see the point. I mean, he's injured all the time now. He's got problems. He can't seem to keep it together. It's just like, why do we want to see this guy bumbling around a stage now?
And he's not writing good music anymore either.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what number we're on, but if they do go back out, what about Van Halen?
Nah, bag it.
I've seen him.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen him 4 times since 2007. Not that great.
No.
I mean, it's
Okay,
enjoyable to see. It's enjoyable to see Eddie when he's on top of his game playing guitar. It's the only highlight.
Yeah, I say bag it. It's over.
All right, now Chris, I know you're a fan of this guy. What if Sammy was there?
I still say bag it. Van
Halen.
Halen's done.
Okay.
I don't want to see Sammy forcing himself on an unhappy tour either. I just, I'll be honest. I'm perfectly content if Sammy goes out and plays those songs with Michael Anthony. That's fine. But to see them try and call it Van Halen and, for many reasons, I would enjoy the show. I would still go if it was Sammy. But let's be honest, all the bullshit that would come with it, all the fucking asswipe fans with this isn't really Van Halen, and, all that baggage that comes with it. Fuck that. Sammy should just go out, play those songs. The Van Halen boys don't even want to play those songs anymore anyway. So fuck it. Don't play them. Just go away.
Okay. All right. Well, what about Metallica?
I wouldn't mind if they ended. And I love them. They're my number 2 band of all time. And I would like to see them go out on a decent note. I mean, they start to come back and then they fall right off the fucking ledge again. And I see now they're releasing S&M 2. Get the fuck out of here with that. No one liked S&M 1. I wouldn't mind seeing them. They're still a big band and they won't. They're going to keep making money while they can keep making money, and they're still selling, big. But it would not bother me at all if they ended. I'd be fine with that. Neely?
I haven't seen them since the Load tour, and don't care.
Okay. I'll do 2 more and then we can go on. But
right.
Just curious, Chris, when should they have ended it?
Metallica?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think the new tour was good. I think the album was great. So they can see. Metallica's a hard one because they're still, the last 2 records are pretty goddamn solid. Even if you gave up on them with the Black Album, it's hard to argue that Death Magnetic and Hardwired are not solid Metallica records. Maybe not the greatest Metallica records, but they're not Load, Reload, Saint Anger. They're not shit like that either. So the fact that they can still make music, and didn't, if they were going to break up, I would have loved to see them break up before they did that fucking awful Saint Anger. That's when they should have broke up, I guess. But, they did rebound with some good music. So I don't know. It's just what they're one of those bands that they're going to do it until the money runs out. Let's be honest. And, I'm done seeing them though. That this last show was it for me. I just, $400 for 2 tickets to sit in the nosebleeds and see them play all fucking new shit. Fuck that. I'm done. They don't embrace their old fans anymore. They only embrace the second tier fans. And I'm an old fan, not a second tier fan.
Okay. All right. I got two of them that may be close to home. So if you don't want to answer it, that's fine. One is Rat.
Bag it.
Yeah, at this point, it's just a name.
Okay. And Dawkins.
Well, Dokken obviously is not the same. I mean, it's Don Dokken's band now. There's no original members aside from Don. I mean, Don is getting older. I think that, once they make this next record, whenever that is, I know that they've been talking about it for over a year, but he might want to put out that record and then do one last round and call it a day.
Yeah, I say bag it.
Okay. And a bonus one, just because they're super, super old. What about the Stones? Should they call it a day?
Oh, no, they should keep recording records.
Selling out stadiums.
Yeah, but they're not on new music. They're not selling out.
Going.
You know, you can say that about Paul McCartney, too. Paul McCartney's still selling out stadiums, but has anybody listened to his last record?
Couldn't even tell you what it's called.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. I mean, the Stones, look, I mean, in the end, I guess none of them should break up if there's still an audience that'll go and see the shit. But I mean, they definitely ruin their legacy on some level. The Stones, for whatever, the difference between the Stones and some of the bands that you listed before is the Stones still sound pretty decent live. And I'm judging that from YouTube. So it's not like I've gone and seen the Stones since the last time I saw the Stones was when Guns N' Roses toured with them on Appetite for Destruction. So, that's what, 88 or whatever. I haven't seen
Yeah, I think that was 89.
Yeah, whatever that was, that's when I saw them last. But I mean, from the video that you see, they still sound okay. They look like a bunch of fucking dead people on stage, but they still sound good.
Yeah, they're skeletons with skin.
Yeah, I mean, and if they're, and again, it goes back to they're mostly intact. I think the Stones are mostly intact, aren't they?
Well, three guys.
Yeah, but some others are dead, aren't they? Or no?
No, just Brian Jones.
No.
All right, I don't know. I'm not a big Stones fan. As far as I'm concerned, they could have broke up before the first record, and I wouldn't have minded. I'm not a Stones fan, but they do what they do, and they can draw 60,000 people in every city that they go to. So it's hard to say, well, yeah, they should quit when they're putting away $1.5 million a night.
Okay. Well, yeah, and I was just saying, and Irving's tapping me on the shoulder, so I'll get off here in a second. But I just think that nowadays with fans going to shows, I think it's more of just, hey, I saw so-and-so or I saw so-and-so. It's not really that you're going, to see a quality show. It's just going to say that I was there kind of thing. Would you agree with that?
Okay.
I don't know. Everybody's got their own reasons for going. I can't answer for what everybody goes for, why they go.
Everybody's different. That's the reason that cover bands are so popular right now, because a lot of people really don't give a fuck who plays the songs. They just like the songs. Yeah, I mean, that's just the truth. And a lot of these bands that you named, Judas Priest, that's a fucking cover band now. That's not Judas Priest. It's not Judas Priest when you got living members that are not in the band. That being said, I like the songs. I hope they make another record. I hope they do another tour. I don't give a shit who's in the band. It's Judas Priest enough for me. And to be honest, if Ripper and KK Downing formed a band, I'd go see that too, because I like that era of Judas Priest as well. Fine with me.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right. Well, I'll get off here, but I just want to say, the last time I listened to you guys, you talked about, you guys you all not agreeing with what I said and all that stuff. And boy, you guys read me like a book. I was nervous about the dead space and everything, and you guys totally called that. So you guys been doing this for a while, I can tell.
Yeah, one day or two.
Well, another swing and a miss. I appreciate it, guys. That was fun.
All right, hail and kill.
Hail and kill, bud.
Is it bad that I say I don't even remember his last call?
I remember it.
What was it?
He just asked us a couple music questions and stuff, and we just disagreed with him.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a big deal.
I don't remember, but okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't remember last week, so whatever.
Okay.
So our listener friend, Chris Wicks, who is he's a very long time supporter of the CMS, back to the WSTB days, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I was introduced to him through Randy.
Right. So he's been a fan of the show pretty much since the beginning of the show.
Almost 25 years.
Yeah, I mean, he's a hardcore fan. And he is one of these guys that got ripped off by Vinnie Vincent for the box set. And unlike everybody else that has been ripped off by Vinnie Vincent, Chris is arguably the most meticulous person we know. He saves everything. So he sent us over pages and pages and pages of documents that he received trying to justify, it's everything from the purchase of the box set to all the letters that Vinny sent that kept saying, it's coming. You're going to love it. It's going to be so awesome. And it's literally the paper trail of Vinny stealing this one person's money. But he did it to however many fucking bought the box set.
Right.
He did the same thing to every single one of them. So did you get the link?
Yeah, I see you put all these documents up there.
Yeah, and you can click on any one of the documents and read it.
Right.
But it's amazing to read some of the shit. And Vinny, there's one in there that's Vinny posting up. He wrote a handwritten note to Chris. He's like, "Thank you so much. You're going to love what I'm putting together." He's going to love it. All right.
The Dare Loyal Vinnie Vincent fan?
Yes.
All right. Let's see here. Dear Loyal Vinnie Vincent fan. Metaluna Records?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is? Metaluna?
Guess that's his label or something.
Okay. Again, confirms your order for the limited edition Vinnie Vincent Archives box set.
Yeah, again confirms, which means there was already a problem.
There is now over 4 hours of Vinnie Vincent.
Now there's over 4 hours.
Yeah. The box sets are now in production and are estimated to be complete and sent out by the end of December of 1996. 23 years ago.
That's right. They're still coming. Still in production.
Or the first week of January of 1997.
Or the first week of 2020.
Right. Please be patient as Vinny feels you will agree this extra special limited collector's edition will be beautiful. One of a kind pieces that will last all of Vinnie Vincent's fans a lifetime with Vinnie Vincent's quest for the highest quality. A little extra time was needed in the production, like 23 years.
23 years and counting.
Vinny thanks you for your patience, support, and dedication. Sincerely, Metaluna Records, LLC. And then there's a handwritten autograph. I know you will love it. Wow.
How ridiculous.
Another about the short delay.
Yeah.
There's another one out here. Oh, he did sign this. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Dear loyal Vinnie Vincent fan, the box company imposed another short delay on this project. The thumb cutouts were pressed mistakenly on the sides of the box, the lids, and had to be remanufactured all over again. Please bear with us. We'll be working round the clock to complete the box sets. 23 years later, still nothing.
Look, it takes a lot of work to repackage these box sets.
Apparently so. Vinnie Vincent had included many tracks and versions of the songs for his fans that have never been available on any black market bootleg, including Brainsaw from Guitar Mageddon.
Wow.
And 2 unreleased All Systems Go songs. Also included are versions of Rocks on Fire, and Nuke It. Again, these are not available on any bootleg anywhere.
Wow.
Vinny appreciates your waiting. It will be shipped as soon as possible. We all thank you, and it will not be long before you receive the Vinny Vincent Archives. Thanks, Chris. Vinny Vincent signs that.
That's right. He sure did.
Holy shit. Now, I'm looking at all this. I'm looking at all this documents that you put up here.
Yeah.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 letters.
That's what I'm saying. Chris Wicks is arguably the most meticulous guy ever. He saves everything. He saved every fucking piece of correspondence.
Yeah, there's 9 letters from this Metaluna Records LLC.
Yeah, about one stupid box set.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, that's cool. I mean, you guys can ferret through all that stuff, but you did a good job in scanning all that shit in.
Well, Wix did all that. That's all. Wix did it. And like any of it, you can click. Like go down. You don't have to read the whole thing, or if you want, I'll read it.
Yeah.
There's one down here, another one down here. If you click on any of them, they'll blow up. So
yeah. Okay, I gotcha.
But listen to this one. Now that one said December. The one that you were reading said December of
96, early January of 97.
Well, I just clicked on one that says Vinny Vincent Archives Update. Dear fans, Vinny has planned for an October 97 release, but has gone over in studio time completing some tracks from Guitarmageddon, which are scheduled for tape 1 of the archives. Wait, I thought this was already in production.
Yeah.
Apparently it wasn't. Vinny is now in the last stages of assembly and completion and is fine-tuning the mastering and the list of material to be included. Once that is done, it will go to press and be shipped. Please be patient and understand the amount of perfection time it takes.
Perfection time.
Yeah, it takes to create a one-of-a-kind collectible such as this. Also, with the additional Vinny Vincent collectibles, which are included for the fans who ordered early, you will have to sit tight and let Vinny do what he feels is necessary to give his fans this truly memorable and limited edition keepsake.
Wow.
And then it just goes on and on from there. But dude, the guy is so full of shit.
I know. I mean, I like the fact that Chris also included this the old timey credit card slip thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he included every piece of this thing.
Oh my God.
So apparently at some point Chris wrote a letter saying, "Hey, where's my fucking box set?"
Yeah, no shit. Why would I mean, what did he pay for that? I'm trying to look on that. 200 and some odd bucks. I can't read
It was a few $100.
Yeah.
And Wix got a letter back that says, "Dear Chris, thank you for your recent letter. Metaluna Records, Inc. again confirms your order of the ultimate Vinny Vincent for all diehard Vinny Vincent fans worldwide. The all-new Vinny Vincent Archives. Now over 9 hours of Vinny's demos, performances, and musical rarities spanning 3 decades. And Vinny has included 3 tracks from the long-awaited unreleased monster Guitarmageddon. This gorgeous 12.5-inch by 10.5-inch by 2.5-inch box set, 6 cassette format, will be available with 5 all-new Vinny Vincent colored autographed sketched guitar picks, a personally autographed 8x10 color photo, autographed, including the all-new color merchandise offers. So once you get this thing that's 2 years late, you can spend more money with this asshole.
Right.
The box sets are in the final stages of production. Now, again, this was on September 19th, and the box sets were in the final stages of production and will be shipped in October of 97. And then the next one that I read just a minute ago was from October of 97 that said it was planned for 97, but now it's going to be longer. What a dick.
Wow. Well, I got your money, so now I'm just going to string you along.
It's unfucking real, dude.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a read. I will say
that's a lot of correspondence.
Yeah, it is. It's too much correspondence. You know, but that was Vinny trying to prove that he's not ripping the fans off, I'm sure.
Right.
I'm sure that's what that was, but unbelievable. I got to give it to Wix, and Wix actually hit me up a couple weeks ago. He's like, what, all that shit I sent you and you guys can't use any of it? And I was like, dude, we're waiting for the moment.
Yeah.
We're waiting for something. And sure as shit, something popped up. I was like, yep, we're going to definitely cover this.
Now it's time.
Now it's time. And that's why I put it on a web page so that it doesn't go hidden. You know, because unlike everything else Vinny does, it's all shrouded in fucking mystery. This is pretty damning evidence, don't you think?
Absolutely.
This is like really damning evidence.
That is a lot of correspondence. 9 letters?
9 letters.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it's a mess. I feel bad for Wix. He got fucked over royal. But you know what? In a way, I'm glad he got fucked over royal because it made for a good segment. So thanks, Chris.
Plus, all of our fans will have something to read through.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
and as long as the Vinny fans who've been scorned point all their friends to that page,
yeah,
they can look it all over and say, yeah, this is your hero.
Yeah, this is what your hero does.
Yeah, here's the guy that you're willing to plunk down $300 to attend this exclusive party with.
Yeah, that might or might not happen. This Christmas show that may or may not happen. That already has one singer that's named saying, nope, not me, pal.
So good.
Unreal.
Starting off the show, we heard something from a little blast from the past. Our good friend, former bassist for Lynyrd Skynyrd, Ian Evans, along with Bobby Capps of 38 Special, put out a CD. I believe it was way back in 2006, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
It was called Evans Caps, and it was called Hell If I Know. And we just heard something from Great White featuring Jack Russell on lead vocal with Fast Road. And taking the fast road from the bedroom to the mic is my good friend and partner, Chris Aiken. What's going on, Chris?
What is up, sir? What possessed you to play music from the dead tonight?
I don't know. I was kind of feeling a little nostalgic today and kind of doing a little reflecting and people that I've known or people I've had associations with. And,
sure.
You know, Ian was so good to both of us.
He was.
And he was especially good to me, hooking me up several times over like a 3 or 4 year period there. Whenever he was in the region, anywhere within the region, say within 100 miles, he would call me and say, hey, we're playing so-and-so. You coming down?
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy, come on out. Lynyrd Skynyrd going to be taking the stage about 9:30.
That's exactly right. And he hooked me up big time on several occasions. He hooked me up for the Taste of Chicago when Lynyrd Skynyrd played the Taste of Chicago, right, and put me front row center for that show. That was the first time I ever met the guy.
Sure.
Then after the show was over, he invited me up to the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in downtown Chicago. At the Water Tower place, and I sat at the bar having drinks with him and the lovely Carol Chase, who was one of the backup singers for Lynyrd Skynyrd. Yeah. I was sitting at the bar with Ian and getting to know him a little bit because he had made a interview on the show. He'd come on the show with Bobby Capps, and there was a time where they actually called us live on the show out of the blue, where the Leonard Skinner bus was going down the road and they were listening to the CMS in the bus.
That's right. I remember that.
But I was getting to know Ian at that point, and I was sitting there. I go, "Hey, that your backup singer, Carol Chase." He goes, "Yeah, what about her?" I said, "I got a little thing for her." And he goes, "Really?" He goes, "Carol?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I think she's pretty sexy." He goes, "You want to meet her?" And I go, "Yeah." So he gets on the cell phone and calls her down, and she comes down. And he goes, I want you to meet somebody who's a real big fan of yours, you know." And she sat next to me, and we had a few drinks, and she let me take a real close and personal picture. She kind of stood between my knees there and let me put my arms around her and put my head on her shoulder like I was kissing her.
Nice.
She was a good sport about it.
Come on, did you hit that?
No, I didn't hit it, but I would have.
I know you would have. I remember you were all pumped up about that.
It was pretty good. I mean, for an older girl, she was pretty smoking.
And by old, you mean what? About 30?
No, she was. But and here I'll tell you a funny story that I learned just watching TV.
Yeah.
So I'm watching Any Which Way. I think it was Any Which Way But Loose, the Clint Eastwood movie.
Okay.
And there was a scene in the movie, or it was in the credits or something, and it was some country honky tonk style song.
Okay.
It was something she sang on as a solo artist back in the 70s.
So you pulled your cock out and just started.
But I saw the credits roll up on the screen, sung by Carol Chase, sung by Carol. I was like, holy shit! I had no idea.
Yeah. So you rewound it like 15 times.
So then he later that summer they were playing over here at the Porter County Fair, and he called me up. He says, "Hey, we're playing at a place called the Porter County Fair. Is that anywhere near you?" I said, "Yeah, that's like 3 minutes from my house." Well,
come on out, buddy. Come on out.
That's exactly right. He's like, "Well, we're staying down here at the Hampton. You know where that's at?" I said, "Yeah, that's just down the street from me." He goes, "Yeah, we're down there. Come on down. Go on to the show with us." So I went down and met up with them and went to the show.
Sure.
And then I think Jim Bob actually came with me on that one.
Okay.
And then I got to see Carol again, and then. What was it? They were playing at a place that's got torn down here in the last year or two. It was called the Star Theater in Maryville.
Okay.
And of course, he called me again. "Hey, we're playing at the Star Theater. Is that near you again?" I said, "Yeah, that's like 15 minutes from the house. Come on over. I got you set up." So I went down there. He had me these VIP. They had this like VIP lounge over there.
Right.
They had me VIP tickets, second row center.
Nice. Yeah, he took care of me and my son as well. I mean, we were maybe 4 rows back or something. We were real close too when he hooked us up. And then the best part was, my kid was little at the time, and I mean, it was great. We ended up just sitting at the table with Leonard Skinner. It was kind of like that whole Doc and Rat thing that we did. Where I'll just sit around eating.
Sure.
But this was like with the Skinnerd guys. It was like all the Skinnerd guys, and there's like 35 of them or whatever.
Yeah.
And then me and my son Zach just sitting at a table, eating dinner with Leonard Skinner and shooting the shit. It was great.
Yeah. And then another one, they were playing over at Fort Wayne, and he had me come out to that, and that was the last show before they were taking like a Christmas break or something.
Right.
And so the principals were flying out. So Gary Rosington and
Barnes, what's his name? Jimmy Barnes or whatever.
Van Zandt. Johnny Van Zandt.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were flying out, and the rest of the guys were going to take the bus home,
Right.
And so they were at the hotel bar, and I was there drinking with what's his name? Ricky Medlock.
Nice.
Ian, and everybody's just kind of hanging out, just like old pals, and Ian just like introducing me around, and it's like we're just buds,
Guys, this is my buddy Neely. Neely's out there helping Skinner keep the flag flying, boys.
Exactly. So that was just like weeks before they announced that he had cancer.
And he died like he died.
It was like in months. It was just a matter of months. I think they announced he had cancer like in January, and I think he passed away like in March or April.
Yeah, it was quick.
Mm-hmm.
It was quick. That cancer is a motherfucker. That's for sure.
Yeah, had that stomach cancer, and it took him out fast. Because when I saw him in January, December, I commented to him. I said, "Man, you're getting awful skinny." He was skinny anyway.
Yeah.
But when I saw him, I said, "Man, you're looking awful skinny." We've been touring pretty hard. I just haven't been eating as much as I should, and blah blah blah. And like I said, it was just weeks after. It was just like, Ian's been diagnosed with cancer, and he's going to fight the fight, and looking forward to seeing you on the road again. And of course, unfortunately, that did not come to pass.
And that sucked. He was a nice guy. He really was nice.
He was super nice. He had no reason to be as nice to you or I as he did.
Yeah, not really.
For whatever reason, because we plugged that Evans Cap CD, he became best of best buds.
And the truth is I don't even think we plugged it because it was the guy from Leonard Skinner or a guy from Leonard Skinner. I think we just liked the record.
Yeah, we liked the record because, number one, it wasn't like a country sounding Southern rock type record. It was like a hard rock, almost a metal record.
Right.
And it kind of surprised us that they went that direction because obviously 38 Special is kind of that Southern rock. Leonard Skinner's that Southern rock. Ian was in the Outlaws as well at one point. And they're that Southern rock stuff. So we kind of assumed that with Bobby Capps and Ian Evans hooking up that, they'd probably do something in that vein. And it definitely was not that at all.
Yeah, no, that's a great record. If you can find it, I don't know if it's even available out there anywhere or what, but kick-ass record.
Yeah. So, just kind of memories, just kind of fond memories of thinking about people that I've had the pleasure of gotten to know or meet along the way. And that one is definitely one I will never forget. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was good people, man. I miss that guy. So I'm curious, different topic. I'm gonna hard shift. Did you happen to watch Mindhunter?
I haven't watched it yet. I did see the little clip.
Yeah.
But as far as actually watching the show, no, I have not watched the show.
Dude, I was so fucking excited to see my fucking equipment.
Oh, well, why not? I mean, that's pretty cool, right?
Dude, I could not be more excited. And literally, it launched, and instead of watching anything, I took it. I watched it on my Apple TV, which has the best scrolling of all my devices. And I just scrolled through every episode slowly looking for those fucking machines. And it took forever because my arcade games were not in the show until episode 8.
Right.
So I had to go through 8 hours of material before I found the pinball machines or the arcade games, but it was definitely cool, man. I actually emailed back and forth with the producer guy yesterday, just saying, "Oh, dude, that was so cool." And he was like, "Thanks. It was so cool working with you guys. And if we need more for the next season, we'll definitely hit you up and blah blah blah." So
they took them over to the Century 3 Mall. Is that where they took them?
They did.
Then they brought them all back.
Yeah, they brought them all back a month later.
Mm.
Gave me a fat check to do it.
Nice.
I was like, fuck yeah, Mindhunter's my favorite show ever now.
Look at my machines making a cameo.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and don't think I'm not promoting it with Pinball PA. And believe me, the post today on all the social media for Pinball PA was, do you want to play the machines that are featured in Mindhunter? Come on out today.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
We'll let you.
Might as well take advantage of it while you can.
Might as well, yeah. And actually, it looks like the newspaper is going to do a little story about our shit being featured and in the show. And I'm just, it's. I said to somebody the other day or today actually, I've literally become the ghetto Howard Stern. I'm the poor man's prince of all media, I guess, because I have the books. Obviously, we do radio. We have the TV component. Now I've got a Netflix thing, and now I'm going to be in Nalbandian's movie.
Yeah, there you go.
I really am the poor man's the poor man's Howard Stern at this point.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, you work at it all these decades, as you might as well get a little something out of it.
Exactly. I'm Howard Stern without any of the money.
Well, as I always say, notoriety does not equal wealth.
Ain't that the truth?
Fame does not necessarily equal wealth.
No, it definitely does not. But definitely exciting to have my little arcade venture end up in a movie. That's pretty fucking sweet.
Well, that is true. So yeah, good on you.
Yep.
But that whole area down there has, over the last, I'm going to say over the last 15 years or so, they're doing a lot more movies down there. I mean, you would not believe the number of movies that are or TV shows and things that are filmed in the Pittsburgh area.
Oh yeah, lots of it. And, and they shot a good part of Mindhunter this season of Mindhunter. It one town over from where my place is. It's a town called Ambridge.
Yeah, Ambridge. When I used to drive a truck, I used to pick up stuff out of Ambridge.
Well, Ambridge is a perfect spot to shoot movies from because it looks like it's still 1973 there, and it's a real shithole for a show like Mindhunter, and it literally is the perfect backdrop to serial killing.
Yeah.
It just looks like somewhere where you would want to be serial killed. It looks just desolate and awful. And I'm like, man, this is like the perfect place for them to be shooting. And it's funny because I watched the first 3 episodes after I found my pinball shit. And I watched the first 3 episodes today or yesterday, last night, 2 last night, 1 today. And I recognize, I mean, they obviously changed the signs and whatever, but I recognize that where a lot of this shit is shot because I've been down there a lot, with when I was down there building Pinball PA. So, I spent a good amount of time in Ambridge, and it's like, wow, look at this. Here's fucking High Street. Here's Main Street.
Yeah.
It's just, it's cool to have like a little connection to it. For me, it's cooler. Like I actually watched here in Cleveland. I was working in a building on Huron Road when they were shooting Spider-Man, and they had the back of our building was closed off, so you couldn't we weren't allowed to go out the back doors, and because they were shooting Spider-Man, but we got to watch from our windows. We got to watch kind of them shooting Spider-Man. But I never had that kind of like connection to Spider-Man. I watched the movie and I saw the scenes and I saw our building and I was like, whatever, who cares? It's fucking Spider-Man. But for this, where I actually had, contracts and whatever, signed, and, I met with people from the Mindhunter series and whatnot. It was like, man, this is fucking cool.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
I'm still a kid. That's what it really comes down to is, at this point, I'm 50 fucking years old. I should not be like, oh, look at my shiny button, but I really am. I'm watching the Mindhunter and I was just fucking grinning ear to ear. I must have watched that 30 seconds of my video games in the episode. I must have watched it 100 times.
That's funny.
Because I'm still just a child when it comes to that shit.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, and speaking of a similar thing, yeah. I discovered a channel on YouTube. It's some guy. He's a big fan of the stunt, the Daredevil stuff, mostly Evel Knievel, Robbie Knievel, people like that. And I think I sent the link to you about the Caesar's Palace jump.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was there. And that's when I got to meet Evil and Robbie at the party afterwards that I wasn't supposed to be at. I didn't have an invite. I just snuck in there. It was part of it. But, they did a really good job at editing that down to where, it was kind of fun to watch it. I don't know if you watched it or not.
I did watch it. Yeah, it was good.
But being there, just kind of reliving that for me, and that whole day was just just was a whirlwind. And seeing it now, that was 98.
Right.
Or not 98, it was 89. I got that transposed there, a little dyslexia. Back in 89, April 14th of 89. So here we are 30 years later. 30 freaking years later.
Right.
Man, where did that time go?
I know. It just goes so fucking fast.
So, yeah, it's fun. It's fun to, and one of the things I like too, since, I'm a big fan of going to Pittsburgh is, if you ever watched the first Jack Reacher movie.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like I've parked in the parking deck where the gunman, the shooter, the sniper up there near the beginning of the movie. If I can, I always park my car in the parking spot where the van was at. Because I go up there and I go, oh, there's the parking spot. I'll just park my car there.
It's open. That's my spot.
So I've actually parked in that space twice.
That's funny. Is it marked or not even?
It's not marked or anything. I just know where it is.
Right.
It's just because that actual parking garage, I stay at the Wyndham on the Point.
Right.
So if their valet is full, they have you park around the corner in that parking garage.
Right.
And so that's where I park my car, is in that parking garage over there.
Yeah.
So
what was it? I don't want to, let me rephrase so I don't ask a really bad what was it like question. How did you feel when you first saw yourself in Nalbandian's movie?
It was definitely interesting. It was just like, oh, there I am. It was just like, okay.
Did you grade yourself? Did you watch it go?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. You critique yourself. You don't want to stammer or stutter too much, or you don't want to repeat yourself, or you kind of want to be succinct in what you're saying.
Right.
And those are the kind of things that I look for. It's like, did I repeat myself at all? Did I stammer? Did I stutter? Could I get my thoughts together quick enough?
Right.
Did I make my point? So yeah, you definitely think about those things.
No, that's Bob telling us last week that he used like 10 clips of me in the new one that's coming. I was excited when he said it, and then as the week went on, I was like, "Oh my God, what did he fucking use?" And oh my, I hope I didn't. And I still have the actual video, the original that our friend Omam, because our friend Omam did the recording for me in his basement.
Right.
Wait till you see it. His basement is like Motorhead Central. There was a reason I drove all the way to Galleon to do it, and it was because if you've never been to his place, I'm assuming.
No.
His basement is rock and roll headquarters. I mean, he's got the cutout piece of steel of the Motorhead logo in the back of his bar, and he's got all kinds of Deep Purple shit and Motorhead and all those, lot of American Dog stuff. He's got the Motorhead head, like the steel actual head, on a post. It's the most metal place I think I've ever been in my life. And it was the perfect I actually filmed my segments standing behind his bar, drinking beers with Omam and just standing behind this Motorhead backdrop. It was fucking very cool. It looks really cool.
Well, that's good. I mean, having a good backdrop is good. I mean, you and I both, especially since we're doing this little TV component.
Yeah.
Having a good backdrop is important because, if you're in a room and it looks like your living room and, right, you see the kitchen in the background and stuff, it's just like, what the fuck are these guys doing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, how much better is it now that I figured out green screen?
Well, it looks awesome, especially when you have your bar set up behind you.
Yeah, exactly.
I know you got several different backdrops that you use and stuff, but I like the bar because people ask me, it's like, man, Chris has sure got a big collection back there.
Yeah, he's a real lush.
Yeah, but I have had several people tell me that they're jealous of your booze collection.
Oh, as they should be.
I said, that's a chroma key. What's a chroma key? Never mind.
Never mind. He does. He just has a lot of drinks.
Yeah.
He owns a bar too.
But when you put your booze collection behind you as your backdrop,
right?
It kind of blends in with my CD shelves back here.
It does. It looks good.
Yeah, so I always like that one. I like the other ones you use too, but that one definitely is, has the attitude.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm still trying to find more. I want to have a bunch of different. I want to have some silly ones too, for when we're doing like should we ever do a Judge Aiken again? Which I think we may have enough stories to do one here pretty soon.
Yeah, you know what? I've been, and speaking of that, I actually been thinking about that because I have got. What I need to do, and I've just been kind of lazy, is I wanted to accumulate, several stories,
right? Sure,
and have them ready to go, and I just haven't done the prep work. So, yeah, it's time to do a Judge Aiken.
And when we do Judge Aiken next time, I'm definitely going to do a courtroom backdrop.
Yeah, that's great.
That will make sense, and that'll look awesome.
Do you have a courtroom backdrop, or are you looking for one?
I have one. I found one.
Okay.
I just haven't used it because we haven't done a Judge Aiken.
Right. Well, I'll make a concerted effort, and maybe we'll do a Judge Aiken next week.
I don't want to do it when you're here because...
Oh, no, I forgot about that. I'm going to be there next week. I mean, the next time we do a show like that, have it.
And before I go, shout out to the Classic Metal Show. I did an interview on there yesterday. Dudes are intelligent, awesome, prepared, funny. Please check them out. Classic Metal Show. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.